Hello and welcome back to Aussie Frugal Family. My name is Rachel, and on this channel we chat about usually the cost of living and how expensive everything is, and how our family of four are making ends meet on a relatively tight budget. Today we're not talking about that. I was meant to be filming a video for Vlogmas. I was going to do like a bit of a garden-y type thing, but I am not going to be able to do that because I have had a very bad day. You know what? I've had a pretty bad week. You know what? I've had a pretty, not a bad year, but a rough year. If you've been following since the beginning, you'll know that the transition from 1 to 2 children for me was not easy. I have really struggled, and I have been very open about that. At first I was like embarrassed about not coping, but honestly, the more I think about it, the more unnatural it seems that a woman would be alone at home with a baby and a toddler most of the time. And yeah, it's perfectly natural for me to feel that way. So I had a really rough time around the 4-month mark. It was really tough. It was really difficult for me looking after them both at the same time, when the baby always wanted to nap and my toddler would not do anything independently. People would send me activity ideas. I'm like, she's not going to do that. She needs constant entertaining. She wants to be on top of me all the time. So that was really tough, and I was mentally, emotionally not great. I don't even want to say like I was mentally unwell, because I don't think it's something that's coming from within me. I think it's overwhelm coming from without. You know what I mean? It's not the children that I find difficult. I find children quite delightful, and I'm actually a very good mother. I know that's like talking myself up, but of all the things I'm terrible at, this is not one of them. I'm a very natural mother. I'm very nurturing and patient and soft and calm and emotionally regulated. And my dad always says like, yeah, you just like, you're in the moment. You're not like thinking about the past or the future. You're in the moment and you just are calm and you take it as it comes. And it's true. And that makes me a very good mother. It's everything else that's difficult. Everything else about parenting is so hard. It's the house and how dirty it is, and how overwhelmed I am from being there when it's dirty. And I know people will be like, oh, just leave it. You can only leave it for so long. You know what I mean? Or like, just enjoy being with your family. It's really difficult to enjoy being in an environment that is disgusting. You know, you can't leave the dishes for too long. You need dishes to use. You can't leave the washing for too long. You need clothes to wear. And not just me, like my family need these things, so I have to do it. So yeah, 4 months was rough. Back to what I was actually saying. And now 10 months has been really rough as well. The little man, the baby, is just everywhere doing everything. I think I'm actually gonna have to get a playpen for him, because I cannot keep him safe. Not with a toddler around as well, because there's just bits of stuff everywhere from the toddler. Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough. There's just a lot going on. The past couple of nights he's been cluster feeding too. I don't know what's going on, if he's feeding or whatever, but I've been up like all night for days. Oh, and people in my life are like, are you okay? I'm like, no. But there's nothing you can do about it. yeah, it's been hard. I've been having a hard time. And I had this thought of like, oh, like, am I not meant to be a mother today? Which is ridiculous because, like I said, I'm honestly a really, I don't want to say incredible, but I'm a pretty bloody good mother. It's just that this is not the way that motherhood was supposed to be. People talk about like stay-at-home mums and stuff, and they say like, you know, a child is meant to be with their mother. And I do agree that children, young children, are supposed to be close to their mothers the majority of the time, right? But what is not natural is for the mother to be sole caregiver for hours and hours and hours on end, day after day after day. If we're talking about what's natural for human beings, it would be living within a community where multiple people would be raising a child, and women would be raising children together as well. I am very lucky that I have beautiful mountain mum friends who, you know, are very like-minded and have very similar like parenting philosophies and things like that. We get along beautifully. I love them so much. But it's not the same as living with other people who are part of raising your child. It's not the same. And again, I'm very grateful for that, but it's not the same. So I do get a bit annoyed when, I don't know, people have that conversation about like, oh, daycare's terrible and blah, blah. Like, children would need to be, not need to be with other children, but children would naturally be with other people, not just their mothers. And sometimes daycare is the only village that people have, or the only reliable village that people have. I am also very lucky to have my parents nearby, and some people ask me if they can help out, and they do, but I also work a job, so I sort of have to use most of my babysitting tokens for that. Yes, they're great and they help, and my dad is very much like, oh my gosh, like, how are you doing this? This is so hard. Which is nice to have that little bit of validation, you know, from someone outside looking in going, oh, like, that's difficult. But yeah, I do have help, but mostly just to work my job, you know what I mean? And occasionally, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to go to the gym a couple of times a week. Not lately, like once. But yeah, I don't know. All of this to say, I am overwhelmed. Meant to be doing Vlogmas, but there is nothing to post apart from this. Just me ranting and crying in my car about how difficult it is to be a mother. I'm sure some of you can relate. I know that people will be like, don't worry about it, and it's just, you can't. And the other thing I was thinking about is people will be like, oh, you know, you'll miss this when they're older. I will miss my children being young. I already know that. I will not miss sobbing on my kitchen floor, looking out the window, waiting for my husband to come home so I can jump in the car and go for a drive by myself and not have children hanging off me for it. Like, I will not miss having a breakdown in my car. You know what I mean? So yes, oh, hard time. That's my vlog for today. Oh, I'm not going to ask for any advice, but I don't know. Feel free to give me some if you want. I probably won't take it. I'm going to have to go home soon to get the baby into bed because breastfeeding. Okay. Again, I feel like I have to say I'm very grateful and I love my children and I love my life and I'm very grateful. I feel like I always have to say that so people aren't like, oh, you're whinging. I just want to be open and honest because, you know, I share a lot of, I feel like, positive things on here, and I feel like I should show this as well. Some people seem to think I'm very like happy and like positive and put together, and I do it all, and I make the meals and I do all that stuff, I also cry in my car. So it is what it is. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with a better video. Bye.